Journalist Alexi McCammond, who was going to be the new editor-in-chief at Teen Vogue, has been pushed out over old offensive tweets from 10 years ago when she was a teenager. Tweets that she had already apologized for 2 years ago. Now, before I get to my thoughts on this story, which may already be obvious, let me give you some details, more details here. McCammond was tapped as the incoming editor-in-chief to replace Lindsay Peoples-Wagner, but the tweets from when she was a teenager and college student as recently as 2011 resurfaced after the appointment was announced. Calls for the magazine to replace steadily mounted, with more than 20 Teen Vogue staff members posting a statement last week saying they had written management in support of readers and others alarmed by the now-deleted tweets. They noted that McCammond's appointment comes at a time of historically high anti-Asian violence and amid the ongoing struggles of the LGBTQ community. So McCammond's previous tweets obviously were anti-Asian, anti-gay, and they were 10 years ago when she was a teenager. She apologized for them 2 years ago when they resurfaced. This was not really a new discovery, but they used this as a way to push her out. Now, look, if the Teen Vogue staff were upset that somebody wasn't hired internally for the editor-in-chief position, or that someone else pointed out that McCammond is 27 and has never been an editor before, then raise that as the issue to management. But to use old tweets when she was a teenager as the basis for pushing her out of this new role is just ridiculous. We have to allow people to grow and change. Most people are not born into a family where they are taught all the right things. They need time to grow and learn. They need time to go to college, as she was in college, learning and changing. You can't hold people to old positions or old things that they said when they have grown from that. They have changed. They've apologized. It's amazing that this even has to be explained. You're not born with all the correct positions, all the correct ideas. People in their past have said a lot of dumb things, and they have changed and moved on. But this continues to happen. Pulling up old tweets or old things people said, old blog posts, and holding that to them today when that person has already apologized for them and have clearly changed as a person. I'm reminded of, this happens quite often now, but I'm reminded of when Cenk Uygur was pushed out of the Justice Democrats, a group he co-founded, because of blog posts from 20 years ago, blog posts that he had already apologized for 10 years ago. Yet still, that was the reason to push him out. Old offensive blog posts. No different here. Old offensive tweets from 10 years ago when she was a teenager, that as the basis to push her out of this new position is just completely absurd. Now, Alexi McCammond posted a statement here saying how she decided to part ways with Condé Nast. That's the parent company of Teen Vogue. I could read through this. I'll link to this below the video. There's nothing too interesting here. Just discussing why she got into why she wanted to have this role and why she works in journalism, and whatever. It's crazy to me that she was forced out of this position. Now, Ryan Grimm here, journalist, tweeted out that she voluntarily withdrew under intense pressure does not allow you to say, hey, she made her own decision to step down, so nothing to see here. This is exactly right. So the other part of this is people will say, well, she decided to step out. I've decided to part ways. So everything's fine, right? No. She decided to part ways after Teen Vogue staff publicly went to management to discuss these issues, further creating a clearly hostile environment if she were to take the position. So, no. Yeah, obviously she was forced out here, regardless of whether she decided to do this herself or not. Clearly, it was at the very least, a mutual decision here because of the environment at Teen Vogue. And I already shared this. So, yeah, I just, not much else to say here. I'm amazed that people cannot allow others to grow and change. If we want to grow our movement and actually impact society in a positive way, you have to be willing to accept people who have not held the correct positions their entire life. You have to allow people to grow and change. You have to give people that room. Otherwise, what's the incentive to try and be a part of a growing movement to try and improve society? What's the incentive if those people are just going to be rejected because of something they said 10, 20 years ago that they already apologized for and have clearly grown from? It's just completely ridiculous.